Queen of Tears is currently both the pain and the drug. It lures us in with its promises of love, just to wring the tears from deep down our souls. The recently concluded episode 12 wasn't as heart-wrenching as the last episode, as Hyun-Woo and Hae-In were more expressive of their love. We got a little dose of drugs to heal our battered and bruised hearts. And from the preview, it seems we are in for more hearts and tears. Meanwhile, most of us are anxious, as Hyun-Woo can be seen in the preview, frantically racing and screaming Hae-In's name. I don't think anything will happen to Hae-In yet, as they still have to visit Germany. Although this accident seems to be in Germany. Hopefully, Hae-In won't be in the car during the impact. I wouldn't put this attempt past Soo-Hyun, who sees Hae-In as an obstacle to their plans. Just like Hae-In in the past, Hyun-Woo still has words he needs to say to Hae-In. When Hae-In told Hyun-Woo that she'd marry him 100 times over, I lost it. This woman really loves this man. And when she turned down the ring because of her illness, I wept with them. If they get through this, they'd never take one another or their love for granted. Did you peep the Kim Shin-rock cameo? She was Hyun-Tae's wife in Reborn Rich. Just like Vincenzo, she was also in character here. What's more, Chairman Hong sacrificed himself for his family in the end. I feel sad for the poor man, who thought he found love in the sly, manipulative psychopath, Soo-Hyun. This shows how one wrong decision can turn your world upside down. Such a sad ending for a man who built his empire from scratch. I keep wondering if only the queens had been a day early. However, his little smile before taking his life is both sad and consoling. He must have thought that the only way to right the wrong he did, by entrusting Soo-Hyun with his power of attorney, was to end his life. This way, the power of attorney becomes null and void. However, before he took his life, he left a voice message for his favorite granddaughter, Hae-In. In the preview, Hae-In can be seen in tears as she listens to it. Hopefully, he left something that will eventually lead to Soo-Hyun's arrest. Although I think this is highly unlikely, he truly loved the evil woman. On the bright side, his demise finally provided an opportunity for the queens to look for the chairman's slush funds. Meanwhile, there's anxiety over who found the funds, as seen in the preview. Eun-sung carried out an extensive search for the funds, and was suspicious of the elevator. However, looking at the hand that opened the safe, it seems like the funds will be discovered by the queens, as Hyun-Woo was on black for the chairman's memorial match. This could mean the queens will finally have the upper hand for once in the upcoming episodes. However, I can't see the reflection of the other family members, as the person opens the safe. This could also mean that Eun-sung will get to the funds first. And Soo-Hyun's little evil smirk alludes to something. If the queens get to the funds first, it will provide a means for them to set a trap for Eun-sung. Eun-sung can be seen falling sheepishly into their trap. I can't help but think that Hae-In will be the best trap for Eun-sung. Hae-In seems to be his Achilles heel. His mother can be heard asking him if he wants to throw everything away because of Hae-In in the preview. You know what they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. As suspected, Soo-Hyun is behind the deaths of Eun-sung's adoptive parents, and the burned-down orphanage. She's truly a psychopath. She abandoned her son for her greed and selfish desires, and thought killing those who maltreated him because of her negligence was her way of loving him. I had hoped for a meaningful backstory, as to why she hated and betrayed the chairman. Surely, it can't just be because of his money. She could have lived in style for the rest of her life, as the chairman loved her a lot. If money is her driving force, this means Hae-In is in danger. When she finds out that Eun-sung wants to throw everything away because of Hae-In, she might try to kill her. I must say that we've had enough of Eun-sung and his mother. They need to be gone in the next 2 episodes, so we can focus on Hae-In and Hyun-Woo. After Hae-In confused Eun-sung for Hyun-Woo, she decided to play along, so she could see the chairman. Hyun-Woo understood what she was up to, because they just speculated about the slush funds being in the chairman's house. She decided to use that opportunity to meet the chairman. This encounter was what set the chairman on the path to becoming lucid. Eun-sung thought it was an opportunity to confess his love for her. How could he claim to have been the person who saved Hae-In that fateful day? From the epilogue, it's clear Hyun-Woo was the one who saved her. This is Eun-sung when he was young, completely different from the person who saved Hae-In. As we know, Hyun-Woo was the person who saved her. This also implies that he knows something about the accident. It could be that it wasn't an accident after all. Hopefully, Hae-In will be Eun-sung's downfall, and Eun-sung will be his mother's downfall. I think the sly Sulhy still has tricks up her sleeves, and the way Lady Luck has been on their side, I won't be surprised at another twist, like the funds falling into their hands. Da-hye and Soo Cheol's story is a complicated one. Soo Cheol's total devotion and love for Da-hye, despite all she's done to him, is both confusing and endearing. It seems Da-hye is still legally married to Jeon-Yu's father. This means her marriage to Soo Cheol isn't legal. Her husband's appearance made her realize what she'd lost in Soo Cheol. However, his plans to pin his crimes on Soo Cheol finally made her take the trip to Yeongdeuri. It's obvious she loves Soo Cheol, but from the preview, it seems she will leave him. She will leave after exhibiting her culinary prowess, much to everyone's surprise. Like she said, she came back to return all she stole from the family. She might feel she doesn't deserve Soo Cheol, not after what she'd done to him and his family. Soo Cheol can be seen racing after her in the preview. Soo Cheol's character is such an essential one in the drama. One moment, you are laughing because of his silliness, in another moment, you'd want to strangle him. Who else would have asked the paramedics to perform CPR on Grandpa? And have you seen a patrol officer dial 112 at the first sense of danger? Oh, graceless Grace. Just as much as I need Eun-sung and his mother gone, I also need Grace gone. She has no scruples or morals. The ease with which she plays and switches sides is disgusting. I have to say that Hyun-Woo put her in a pickle, but how she sang like a hummingbird didn't sit right with me. To make matters worse, she tried to negotiate higher than what Hyun-Woo promised. At this point, whoever trusts Grace is trusting her at their own peril. Hyun-Woo and Hae-In are still stealing the show and our hearts. Whatever Cloud Saitama is, we need it gone. Her brain confusing Eun-sung and Hyun-Woo is so sad. The uncertainty and confusion on her face were heartbreaking. This was why she studied Hyun-Woo's face when she thought him asleep. She tried to engrave his features in her mind with a touch. Her love for Hyun-Woo keeps shining through in each new episode. It seems like her confession of love unleashed all her pent-up feelings for him. It'd be heart-wrenching if anything happened to her in the end. When she had to turn down his proposal for their divorce withdrawal, was one of the saddest scenes in the episode. However, things are looking up. It's obvious they are destined for one another, right from the start. I can't wait for Hae-In to tell Hyun-Woo about their encounter in high school and the MP3. I also can't wait for them to find out that Hyun-Woo was the one who saved Hae-In on that dreadful day. From the preview, Hae-In will finally agree to the divorce withdrawal. They can be seen spending quality time together, and making a pinky promise to one another. We are in for some lovey-dovey moments, as they move into Hyun-Woo's office in the next episode. I can't wait to see this ring back on their fingers. However, Hae-In can be seen going through a vulnerable moment, as she thinks of all she stands to lose because of her illness. As she now has so much to live for, I think we might have a happy ending. The ending of the preview left most of us anxious for Hae-In. However, I don't think Hae-In will be in the car, as I said earlier. Hopefully, this will be another ploy by the writer, to keep us on our toes. However, it seems like Hae-In's illness will progress, as Hyun-Woo can be heard longing to say the words he hadn't said to her, just as Hae-In did when she fainted in the last episode. I think he wants to tell her he loves her sober, not his drunken confession. On a scale of 1 to 10, how anxious and eager are you for the next episode? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you liked this content, give it a like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell for all things wonderfully K-drama. Thanks for watching, bye.